Welcome to Game Crunch, your weekly video game podcast. My name is Mike Anastasia. With me today we have Brandon.
Hello.
And we're here to talk about games and things.
Games and things.
Hey, An, what's on the agenda today?
I played some games.
Diablo IV.
Yep.
Yeah. Katamari.
Yep.
Street Fighter.
Yep.
Advance Wars.
Yep.
And not a lot of news because we are just before the summer showcase.
Like Apple had their thing and that was stupid.
Yeah, how much did their AR headset cost?
$3,500.
Yeah. How many of those do you want? That's like a Sony move right there. Sad thing is though, Apple will probably sell more than Sony. Other VR headset.
Yeah. Oh, they will. There's like no point to it either. Like it makes no sense.
Maybe someday it'll make sense. I don't know.
I don't think so. I think they just know that the people are stupid enough that it's like, okay.
Yeah. I don't know anything about it. I just thought it was very expensive.
Yeah, it doesn't really play much of anything. It's very much just like essentially strapping an Apple TV to your head.
Oh.
And then when people get close to you, it shows a render of what your eyes look like on the inside for no reason whatsoever. And that's it. It literally looks like, okay, all right. Okay. All right, here we go.
Okay.
We'll start this conversation, right?
Okay.
We're going to start with this. All right. So you know how in like old like 80s and like 90s movies they had those like really fake looking VR headsets, or like you put on the thing and then you're teleported to some kind of like world beyond or whatever, and that sort of thing, and you're like sitting in like a holosphere or whatever, and like you're experiencing the world around you, and all of it looks so incredibly fake by today's standards.
Yeah,
Apple looked at that and said, I can make that.
Why not?
And then that's what their headset looks like. Their headset looks so incredibly fake that it's actually like impressive how fake it looks.
That's quite a standard to reach to.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm sure it will be something. I say interesting to see, but I don't think it will be interesting, and it may be more interesting to see how it plays out with that massive price tag.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, yeah. But no, it is a week of big news, so we should be, seeing some stuff. I think actually I debated on putting this in the news, but it's kind of, I guess, topical here. But Microsoft did reveal that there will be no all CG trailers in their showcase.
Damn, they are really being like, hey, Sony, get fucked.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we talked about it last week when, for a long time, it's been a big criticism that I've had of all the showcases, where they'll just be like, hey, we got a new trailer. Here's a CG trailer that tells you nothing about the game.
Mm-hmm.
So it's nice to see that, at least they seem to be receptive to that idea. So
yeah,
I don't know. It makes me a little bit more excited. And on the other thing too, I think we talked about it in rumors, but supposedly they're also more receptive to the fact of let's not show off games way before they're close to being finished, because it just deflates the hype of them. So supposedly the stuff that they're going to be showing will release in a reasonable time frame, and not necessarily be, so far out that it's not going to happen or slip back years and years. So yeah, I that's at least a little bit more promising for me. So we'll see. Although who knows? I mean, Sony is sitting on all their first party stuff, really. So maybe they're holding it back to see what Microsoft's doing. No clue. But anyways, you ready to get into games?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess start with what you have.
Yeah, I have a lot.
All right.
So I guess we'll start by talking about the game that I probably spent the most time playing this weekend, which I'll let you guess out of the three. Which one do you think I played the most?
Let me see.
Actually, you know what? Put them in order. Put all three of them in order. From most to least.
Diablo.
Okay, you're right so far.
Katamari Street Fighter.
No. Sorry.
I almost switched it. I felt like you would play Street Fighter more, but then I overthought myself, and I'm like, well, I put Katamari second, so maybe that's just more on his mind.
Nope. That's the one I played the most recently. Well, I guess unless you count like before this, which I played Street Fighter right before this, but like that's the one that was the last one I played out of all three of them. Katamari is really good, so I'll talk about that. It's still We Love Katamari with some extra little twist in it. Did you ever play We Love Katamari on PlayStation 2?
No.
So We Love Katamari was the sequel to Katamari Damacy, and
Hmm.
it's the better game because they fleshed out a lot of it. It's good.
Hmm.
It's very good. The second game was made out of basically a obligation when the developer didn't want to make it, but he added so much stuff in the second game that's better than the first one. It's most people's favorite Katamari game,
Okay.
and I kind of stand with the same. I think it's a fucking excellent game, really fun to play. One of the better parts of it is the fact that in this new one, it is Reroll Reverie. I think is what it's called.
Okay.
And that is there's new content that was never in the original game, like at all. And
Oh.
essentially what they did was they took like the cutscenes where this one kind of explains the king's backstory and why he's such a piece of shit and so like abusive and everything because his father was abusive and that sort of thing. And it shows all the shit that the king went through, but also you play those stages. They're mostly just like remix stages of the other stages that you play as like the prince,
Mhm.
but they've got like a little extra twist added to them. It's a lot of fun. I've played maybe like 4 or so hours of it, so not a whole lot, but I've really enjoyed what I've played. So there's that.
Okay.
Moving on, let's go to Street Fighter. Street Fighter 6 is so fucking good.
Yeah.
Like, legitimately, everything. I can't really think of a single bad thing to say about Street Fighter 6, to be completely honest. It's
Okay.
one of the better fighting games I've played in a very, very long time. It's fully fleshed out from the get-go. It has a open world story mode that has like quest and everything that you can go on that plays similar to like the open world like Mortal Kombat story modes from like back on PS2 and on PS3 and that sort of thing. Very fun, very fun. You go around and you could challenge anyone that has a name above their head. And like before you challenge them, they like have a list of the items that you can get and what you have to do to get said item. So you
Mhm.
can literally like go around and grind out like clothing. Basically, you can design your character and then you go out and hunt down clothing by like fighting enemies. And some of the enemies that you fight will be like, perform like 2 grabs on this enemy and you get like this hat or whatever. And that's essentially how the game works. There's an actual overarching quest, but the overarching quest is kind of it's whatever. It's fine. But I don't care. What I care about is meeting up with the like iconic Street Fighter characters. Like right now, I'm practicing under Chun-Li, which means I have all of her moves. But also, when you're playing, you can sub in different character moves. So like if you
Okay.
meet DJ, then you can put DJ's moves in and combine like DJ and Chun-Li's moves together and make your avatar character have those kind of moves. And as you level up, you have like more health bars that you gain and you fight harder enemies. And I mean, it's a lot of fun. And then after
Sounds
you,
interesting.
yeah, and like all the like clothing has like stats on it. So like it's kind of got like that element as well, kind of like an RPG sort of element. It's good. It's really, really good. It's very fun. It's fully fleshed out. It's pretty long. I'm like 8 or 10 hours into it now, and I'm nowhere near beating it. And I've just been like exploring a lot. There's like a day and night thing, but you have to like change it from day and night by going to sleep and waking up. And there's different missions that take place at night, and there's different enemies that come out at night.
Okay.
And it's cool. It's really fun. Once
Sounds like a
you,
nice take on a fighting game, like single player thing.
I do know that once you finish it, you unlock the secondary costume for every character in the game. You can
Mhm.
also spend real money if you want, but if you don't want, you just go through the single player and unlock the costumes that way instead. So a good option for those that feel like putting in the effort to get the costume instead of just paying the money for it outright. And those costumes are their original costumes, so you can get all the Street Fighter characters that are in this game back in their original costumes by beating the story mode, basically.
Okay.
So yeah, very fun, very enjoyable. Just overall, a really good game. After you beat the single player story mode campaign thing, you then can unlock all the original costumes from Street Fighter.
Yes.
So everyone gets their original costume. Or you can pay money, but if you don't want to, then you can actually just play through the single player and unlock it that way. Other than that, you then take your avatar that you've created, your like character you made, and their abilities and everything, and you then take it into online multiplayer, and that's like your character avatar for like when you go to play games against people online.
Mm-hmm.
You like sit down at like cabinets and everything to actually play against people. So you go to like this virtual arcade.
Oh,
There's
yeah,
one
you were
Street
talking
Fighter
about
6
that last
cabinet
week.
on one side and one on the other side. You sit down at the cabinet, another player sits down across from you, and you and that player fight each other. It's very fun. It's a very it feels like a lived-in kind of online lobby space, and that's really cool. I like that element of it.
Mm-hmm.
There are several things around the lobby. One is not open yet. It says it's the collab shop, so it looks like they're going to have collaborations with other like games as well, or other just franchises or whatever.
Yeah.
And that looks cool, but it's not out yet. There's like little daily and weekly quests. It's just all around really fun. The actual fighting is really cool too, because when you fight like in outside of the story mode, obviously, because the story mode is very different from actually playing the game. It just kind of teaches you stuff as you're going along.
Mm-hmm.
But in an actual fight, one of the really super cool elements is every single fighter, when you start the game, they already have drive bars, which are essentially like overpowered special bars. So you start with them, like out the gate. Like once the game starts, fight, you have like 8 of them or 6 of them, something like that. And once you use those up, you then go into white, which means now that you're whited out, whenever you try to block, you take chip damage.
Okay.
But if you like manage your bars correctly and everything, you can use them to like cancel out of someone's like finisher move, essentially. And it's got a really big like risk and reward element to it, and it's a lot of fun to use. You also can, I think there's 3 different control schemes. There's like an auto, there's classic, and then there's this new modern style. And the modern style is kind of interesting. You can essentially everyone's moves are kind of mapped to like a direction and a button, similar to something like Smash Brothers.
Okay.
So you can play that way, and you can also like hold down right trigger while pressing like a combination of buttons, like just hold down right trigger and press XXX, and you do like a like 10 hit combo, a 6 hit combo, that sort of thing. But you can like chain those together if you know how to use them. So like even people that aren't very good at the game or that are like new to it can play the game. Like my friend that's not very good at Street Fighter at all, he's been having a blast by using the modern control scheme and playing that way, essentially. And yeah, we've been having a lot of fun playing that. I played it online last night, and the online is super solid. I had like 0 issues, no lag, no desync, no nothing. It just worked. It's very impressive what is here.
Yeah. And fighting games, just, with the nature of them, I feel like those tend to be more difficult to do online just because
they
you
definitely
need that
are.
response. Yeah. So that's great. It's good that they have all that stuff in there too. I mean, it sounds like it's a fairly robust fighting game.
It definitely is. It's great. Like all around, I think this is gonna be. Well, first of all, I never really talked much about Street Fighter V. I talked about Tekken. I talked about like other fighting games while I've been on this podcast. That's because Street Fighter V was dog shit. Like it was bad, like really bad. And when that game launched, it launched in like pieces, basically. This feels like a full game, and this feels like going way above and beyond like what a normal Street Fighter game would. And I'm very impressed with what we already have here on on offer, what you can already do with the game. And it's great. Overall, I'm very, very happy with this purchase.
All right. That's awesome.
Yeah. What you're going to find out now is I'm actually happy with every single thing I bought. Because
I figured you would be. I didn't think any of these would be bad.
Yeah, they're not bad at all. In fact, all of them are legitimate, like, well, maybe not Katamari. I mean, maybe for me, because, it's niche and it's something I really enjoy. But all of these are legitimately Game of the Year contenders. Obviously, you've got, Tears of the Kingdom. So like nothing's going to beat that out. But like I'm saying, like, top 10 games of the year. All of these are that.
Oh wow.
Diablo 4 is incredible. Like, take everything about Diablo Immortal and pretend it never happened, and then take Diablo 2 and pretend Diablo 3 never happened, but take the ideas and stuff they learned from Diablo 3, such as like having a seasonals or having the ability to like have big events that involve the entire like server. Take all of that and put that into Diablo 4. Diablo 4 is brutal. It is absolutely brutal. It is really good. It's a lot of fun. It's very dark, and it is super addicting. And every single class that I have played has been so much fun. I have played 3 classes. I've played Rogue, I have played Barbarian, and I have played Necromancer. And all 3 of those classes all feel very different, and all feel so much fun to play in different ways. And there's so many different ways you can play those classes just in general, because of all of the skill trees and stuff there's like legitimately good skill trees here on offer, as opposed to what we had with Diablo 3. So if you liked like Diablo 3 but you felt it was a little bit too simplistic and you'd like something where you have like more options over your characters, Diablo 4 is it. And Diablo 4 is fucking fantastic. Like, I've got 0 complaints about Diablo 4. I have 0. There's a lot of areas open in the world that you can just kind of explore. Like, you can go into random basements and random dungeons and stuff and just clear it out and just fight till your heart's content until you've beaten the entire area. And then, like, it even has on the like main menu how many more dungeons remain, how many more items of this sort of thing that you're looking for remain, how many more of these statues remain, and it keeps track of everything to make it way easier. Because a lot of Diablo 3, when you would go and do certain things late game, such as trying to like finish the map or trying to collect certain items that you need for a character or whatever, those things weren't very well placed. Like it didn't tell you like, oh, you've gotten this item, oh, you've gotten this, oh, you've gotten this statue, oh, you've gotten this. This kind of like keeps you constantly updated, similar to something like a map on an open world game is, where it's like, oh, you've beaten this part, here's a check mark on it, so you know you don't need to go back there, you've already done that. And that's something that's like a very good quality of life element.
Yeah, that's really
Diablo
nice
4. So that's really fucking cool. On top of all of that, it kind of like eases you in, essentially. I have played, I want to say like 20 or so hours of Diablo 4 already. I've played it on 2 different characters this weekend, and I have had 0 disconnects, 0 issues with the server whatsoever.
Good, because that playtest helped out like it's supposed to.
Not only that, I have seen no one complain about server issues, like, period. So I'm actually super impressed with everything that's gone on with this game. I've had like no queue times that are really long. I'm pretty much in within like a minute at most. Mm-hmm. I've had no real crashes outside of things that were my own fault. I've got no complaints for this one. It's just so much fun, so enjoyable to play with a group. It's varied, but still like the super dark, gritty, gothic kind of vibe, that sort of thing going on. But like the world, as you like go throughout it, it's definitely like got various different kind of biomes. Uh-huh. And you can tell like, oh, I'm in this sort of biome right now. It's not all like the same gray and brown. There's definitely like character to the world, but it's still like very like bleak and atmospheric and really, really well done. In general, I do think that Diablo 4 is going to go pretty far, because there's already a lot here, and obviously they can add more, but there's a lot, and I mean a lot here, that could keep people coming back to this for quite a while. So, yeah. I mean, most people haven't even like gotten to max level yet, and it's been out since Friday. I think 100?
Okay. I mean, just even from the, what they gave us in the playtest, it seemed like it was a very lengthy amount of content.
Oh yeah, I mean,
So
I'm just very surprised that the game didn't have any real technical issues and also didn't suck. Like after Diablo Immortal, I'm surprised at just how good it is. I guess
yeah,
Diablo 2 also, because the Diablo 2 remake was kind of but like this is just what I would think of when I think of like more Diablo, essentially. But it's not like just more Diablo because there's way more to it. But it's just I don't know. It's great.
yeah, it seemed like there was a lot there. I'll have to get it someday. I mean, I
It
enjoyed my
definitely.
time with it. Hmm.
So more information for you. It has full cross progression and cross play.
Oh,
So, you could play with me on PC from whatever system you decide to buy it on. And if you decide to get it on, like, say, your like if let's say it comes to Mac at some point, you have a good enough Mac for it because I don't really follow Mac stuff right now. I apologize. I don't really know much about that. But let's say like it does come to Mac and you also have it on say your Xbox. Your character progression would carry over to it on Mac if you then for some reason bought it again or got it again.
which is nice.
Very nice.
Yeah, I don't know. I wish more games did that. I feel like that's very amongst cross-platform games, still very few and far between.
I feel like it's getting better because I'm gonna say this now. Street Fighter 6
Hmm.
also.
Oh, nice.
So two in the same day. So that's pretty good. I think it has a lot to do with both of those having their own like platform outside of it. So you have the Capcom ID for Street Fighter 6, and you have obviously your BattleNet slash Blizzard ID for Diablo. So having being connected to those two things, and then having the game elsewhere makes it so it works better that way. And I also do think there are some live service elements to both of them. Obviously, they both are going to have some sort of battle pass system in the future, but neither of them have it implemented yet. But it's very obvious that it's coming in both. I do hope that it just stays cosmetic. I'm pretty sure it will. I hope. I hope. Knock on like fucking wood or something. But yeah, it does look like both of those are going to have some sort of like cosmetic battle pass system in the future. Which I mean, I got the Diablo one for free because
Uh-huh.
I guess I should tell you story time. Diablo actually releases today,
Hmm.
but I've been playing it since Friday.
Oh,
So there was a 4-day early access if you bought the middle edition. I was not going to do that, and then my buddy was like, "Are you gonna actually buy the game?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna buy it. I'll buy it when it releases. I just don't feel like paying, $90 for two copies. Like $90 for one and $90 for another one." So he was like, "How about I just give you the extra money and you buy both of them right now?" And then I was like, yeah, sure, fuck it."
sure, why
So,
not?
so me and Katie played this weekend with some of my other friends, pretty much like all weekend, and I bought two copies of Diablo 4. And I mean, it's great. In
So has
general,
Katie
it's
been Katie's been playing with you too,
yeah. Katie's been playing as well.
and she's been
She's
enjoying
running
it
a
as well.
rogue. She's been enjoying it as well.
Hmm.
It's been a really fun time playing it.
What class have you been playing?
I am currently playing a necromancer when I play with Katie or my friend GP. When I
Hmm.
play by myself, I am playing a barbarian because I feel like a barbarian class is just a way easier class to go solo with.
Uh-huh.
So
All right. That sounds
necromancer
great.
class is really fun because it's like I'm playing Pikmin, essentially. I'm like quite literally just being like, all right, I killed some enemies. All right, raise dead, raise dead, raise dead. All right, you guys go fight, and I'll just sit here and wait. I
Yeah, I mean it looks like it's like I said, it was fun. I don't remember, did I try Necromancer when I played the demo?
don't
I
know.
don't think
I
so.
really don't know.
I don't think I did. I think I did Sorcerer.
I have not played sorcerer yet. That's my next class that I
Hmm.
want to play.
I'm pretty sure I did Sorcerer. I
Hmm.
like going around zapping magic everywhere. It's just
Yeah,
nice.
I mean, you could do the same with necromancer, except your magic is dead people.
Yeah, no, I don't think I did that then. I just remember zapping out like lightning and shit. So, was it lightning? I don't remember. All
Hmm.
sorts of crazy powers. But that's what I played in Diablo 3 when I played it, and I had a good time with it. I did see, speaking of the Diablo 2 was on sale for stupid cheap on the Switch not that long ago, and I almost bought it. I was like, no,
I
we'll
don't
wait.
think it's really worth it. Like
Mhm.
I don't really have that many good things to say about Diablo 2 Remaster. The
Uh
original one, great game, great game.
yeah.
The remaster just feels like kind of soulless, kind of like nothing.
Uh-huh.
And I guess that's really my issue with it. And I also feel
Yeah.
like the remaster runs very poorly. But I mean,
Um
Diablo 4 runs incredibly well.
yeah, no, I don't have any complaints from when I played it, and it seemed like it ran really well, and it seemed like it was really a good like direction for Diablo.
Oh yeah,
So
definitely.
mhm. Yeah, I like where they're taking it. It's not. I don't feel like they had the missteps like Diablo 3 did.
I
This
agree,
game seems like
very
it
much
just
so.
is just very much headed in the right direction.
Hmm.
So, although I did see someone joke that there's like what the DLC for a $20 horse mount or something.
There is. Um, I definitely got it. But I didn't see it as for the horse mount. I saw it as being able to play the game 4 days early.
Oh, okay. I didn't
So
know
if
that
you,
was all that
yeah,
package.
yeah. So you get a horse mount. You get stuff for WoW. You get some stuff for other Blizzard games, and then I believe you also get armor for your horse mount. It looks pretty cool. It's pretty nice. But I believe you also can just kind of watch like 3 hours of Diablo 4 on Twitch and get another horse. So
Oh,
fuck it.
yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Anything
So
else?
far, I will keep you updated because this is definitely going to be a live service game.
Oh
But
yeah.
so far, so good. Hopefully, if they do when they do the live service stuff, it will be purely cosmetic because I cannot I cannot see it going over well if they attempt to make it pay to win essentially.
Hmm.
And I
Yeah,
really hope they're smart enough not to do that.
I'm sure they are.
You
I
didn't
like to
sound like
believe.
you had any confidence there, and I agree with you. But
You
yeah,
know, I tend to be more of an optimist
it didn't
outwardly.
sound like you were being that way. You trailed off on the R.
Arr. I know
Yeah.
they are. Yeah. Anything else? Dylan?
No. Just lots of good games came out this week. Lots of
Yeah.
really good games.
Well, I'm not playing anything new. But I'll talk about it. I
Yeah.
did. So I went back to. I finished Zelda last week, as we talked about,
Hmm.
and so I went back to the last game I was playing, which was Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp, because
Okay.
I was not ready to go back to fuck around in Zelda more yet. I did a lot of the stuff I wanted to do in Zelda, and I was just like, I'm good for now. So I finally finished up Advance Wars 1
Okay.
because I did not finish it when I thought I would last time. And the game ends really well. I thought so. And
There you
the final battle is pretty just kind of compelling. There's a lot going on,
go. Hmm.
and it works really well. But I do have to agree. Kind of, I don't. We didn't really talk about it too much last time, but just kind of at least your initial sentiments to what you shared. Advance Wars 2 is definitely better. I
Yeah.
think I'm already 8 missions into Advance Wars 2, and you already notice quite a bit of difference because it lets you pick a bunch of different missions to go on. You're not like set to like a specific order. There's like bonus missions that you unlock, and those kind of like new unlock new like units and stuff for you.
Hmm.
So I thought, and the mission designs are much different. It's not just like they're not always capture the base or eliminate all enemy units. Like they seem to have like differences. So like it'll blow up this cannon or whatever else. So I don't know. I've been really enjoying the variety, and I kind of enjoy um, the ability to kind of I don't know go through the story in your own way.
Hmm.
So I've been enjoying it so far. I'm really happy with Advance Wars 2. I finished all of these, so 8 missions in, like I said. So that means I finished all of the Red Star campaign, Orange Star campaign, not Red Star. That's like China or something.
Mm.
Um, yeah, so Orange Star campaign. I finished all that, and now you get the choice between the blue. I think it's Blue Moon or Yellow. Is it Yellow Moon? I don't know. Whatever the thing I'm on, I got the
Okay.
choices between the yellow and the blue countries. So I was like, I'll start with the yellow ones first because they look like they're harder, and I like the yellow team more than the blue one. I don't know because if the countries are all comparative to like different ones, I don't know. Like Orange Star seems like it's supposed to be, I don't know, maybe America.
Okay.
Blues maybe like a Russia kind of thing, and yellow is like Japan, I think.
Okay.
I don't know. That's good. I don't know. I love the art style. I love the just kind of it just has just I think just the right amount of voice acting, where it just kind of gives you like a touch of what the character would say, but it doesn't give you everything, and I don't think it needs to. I think this game would be too wordy if it
Mm-hmm.
told you everything. Um, but I don't know. It definitely has some difficulty in its bones. Like not always easy game. I definitely find myself restarting missions pretty
Mm-hmm.
often, or and it does have the ability to like reset a turn. So like if you fuck up like when you're putting stuff out during your turn, you can just reset that turn
Okay.
and go and do that. But yeah, I mean it works really well, I would say. Are you gonna pick this one up at all eventually, or you don't know?
Maybe
Or
sometime.
yeah,
It's kind of like it's not super on my list right now. I've got two more things that come out this month. But like I don't know when I would ever pick this up.
I know, and it's definitely been a busy year, so lots of stuff's coming out, and I don't know. That's all the games I had to play. I did want to kind of update though on just something random.
Yeah, go
I
on.
did get that Dead Space book.
Okay.
So I think I told you I wanted a copy. I wanted a physical copy of that first Dead Space
Yes.
book,
Yes,
Martyr.
I do remember that.
And I think last time I talked about it, I had gotten it on eBay. Someone had a bid on it for. They put up an auction. They started the bidding at $60, and I tapped out at 70
Mm.
something. And I was like, nope, too rich for my blood. I'm like, I'm waiting for it. I'm not spending $70 on a
Mm-hmm.
book. I did get it for. Someone put a buy it now for like 45, and I was like,
Oh,
fuck yeah.
there you go.
So yeah, the book still is regularly going for over $100 on
Very
eBay.
nice.
Apparently someone just was not paying attention.
Nah, they probably just wanted their money now.
Yeah, maybe, but it's one of the like even if you put it up for like $70, you would have gotten it easily probably. But this was just a screaming deal, and it seems like it's in great condition, so I got no
Okay.
complaints. Um,
Nice.
yeah, so I'm really excited. I'll have to read it again because I remember being really engrossed in it
Okay.
when it came out. Because the story is, I don't know, we talked about it before. It's like it's a prequel to Dead Space
Mm.
by like hundreds of years. So it talks about like the founding of like unitology and like the events that kind of led to them finding the first marker in
I see.
the what was it, the Yucatan Peninsula? Is that where it was?
I do not
Wherever
remember. I'm gonna be honest. I do not remember at
it's
all.
okay. Wherever that meteor crashed that killed the dinosaurs, supposedly that's where they found the marker. So in that like spot in between like Mexico and Florida, that's
Mm-hmm.
underwater. So the only thing I remember about it is they went underwater, they found it, and it's about the founding of Unitology, and the story was really good. Why it was really good? Don't remember. I just remember really liking the story. So I was
You're gonna
like,
come back and be like, all right, so I read the story again. Yeah, that was awful.
I remember liking it so much I finished it in like a day or two.
Mm.
So it couldn't have been that bad. There's not a lot of books that captivate me to read them that much.
Mm-hmm.
So it had to have been pretty good. So
Okay.
I'm definitely happy with it. I'll have to read it again. I like kind of like crashed and burned my like Dead Space mojo
I
somewhere.
see.
Um, I did end up starting Dead Space 3 at one point, and
Mm-hmm.
I did a couple chapters, and then I was just like, no, and just stopped. And it was nothing to do with Dead Space 3. I don't remember why I stopped. I think I started playing something else, and that was it. So, um, yeah, but I'm excited to have finally a physical copy of it. So now I got all the Dead Space books, physical copies. So I don't know. It'd be nice if they do kind of more Dead Space spin-off like things, but I don't know if Dead Space is kind of that big anymore.
I see. I see.
Yeah. Um. Anyways, ready to talk about news? We don't have a ton of news.
Yeah, sure. Let's talk
So
about it. I didn't even know we had any news.
Well, I guess we kind of got like three things. Nintendo announced two games. Well, one's already announced, and it has, I think, a firm release date now because they had that trailer for Pikmin 4 today. Um, and it's coming out on July 21st.
Okay.
So, um, I don't know if that was just new today or if it was part of their trailer. I can't remember anymore. I remember it was dated for July before, but now it is definitively July 21st. So that's exciting. I guess the new one will let you customize your own captain, is what I saw.
Okay.
So I didn't watch the trailer. That's just kind of what they said. Um, and the other game that they announced was the long rumored sequel to 1-2 Switch, where it's like
Oh
everyone
yeah.
1-2. If you remember the rumors, the game was so bad, Nintendo did not think they could sell it, and we're sitting on it indefinitely. So I'm curious to see how horrible this is. Just based on the original, from what I've heard, probably horrible. Based on those rumors, probably worse. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens with that. I do think, though, I think this, I kind of said it like on our, pre-podcast chat, but we have to be gearing up for a Nintendo Direct. I would think probably within the next month and a half.
Okay.
Um, they don't necessarily have to. It's Nintendo. They're unpredictable. They don't always do a June presentation anymore. The only
Hmm.
ones that seem to be consistent are they're like February, March, and September. Kind of one in the beginning, one at the end of the year. But they used to kind of have that E3 period direct. But the only reason I think they might do it is because they have nothing announced after Pikmin in July 21st. So I can't really see them riding out until September since the back half of the year's not announced. So kind of think that they'll have to do something. I don't know. But also, too, considering how little is known about Pikmin 4, they also kind of have to show off something about it, too.
I see. I
So,
see.
yeah, so it seems like it's possible that, there's that. And speaking of other things that are likely but not official, new amiibo for Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh, is this the one that was found via the
Yeah, so
game? Right?
apparently the data miners found new paraglider materials inside the game, and they are tied to amiibo that don't exist. So each amiibo is, and this isn't new to like this game. This is like a numbering sequence that had been going on for since they started, basically. But basically, each series is kind of given like a category, and then inside that category, there's a numerical sequence of numbers
Hmm.
that kind of dictates which amiibo it is. So they did see the paraglider material for Link in there, and he has his set amiibo, and then there are the two new ones which point towards Zelda and um, Ganondorf,
Hmm.
and they have the next like sequential numbers after Link. But since those amiibo don't exist, A, there's no way to get them, but B, it also seems to hint that there are more amiibo coming. Not necessarily unheard of for Nintendo, especially during this Switch generation of things. We've seen them release amiibo for games, along with additional content later, quite a few times now, actually. They did it with Breath of the Wild when they did the Champions along with the DLC. They did it with Splatoon 2 when they did the Octo expansion. They put out another set of amiibo. They did it with there was one more. Oh, Xenoblade Chronicles 3. When they
Okay.
announced the release date for the last DLC expansion, they also announced that there's two new amiibo coming for it for the protagonists of the main game. So
Mm.
definitely not out of the realm of possibility. And I think we talked about it last week that it seems likely that they probably would do some sort of DLC for this game. It makes sense, they spent a lot of time playtesting this game and making sure it was bug free. So, it seems like there would be a substantial amount of staff that would be available to work on DLC during that time. So, I think it's likely. I think we'll probably see it by the end of the year. And there's that. But I don't know. I don't know what Nintendo has planned, wise for the end of the year. You figure Breath of the Wild came out in May, maybe having the first DLC pack out in November, 6 months later, would give you a kind of a nice kick before the holidays, get it back in people's attention again. And 6 months seems like a reasonable amount of time for your first DLC pack. So, uh, or I don't know. I mean, I guess it could go sooner, but I would say that's probably what it's going to be. But there's other unknowns we don't know too. Like very likely there's going to be some sort of Pokemon something or other during the holidays. There always is.
Mm.
But I don't know what else. And it's hard to guess because it's Nintendo. You don't know. Maybe that Metroid game, the ports that they keep talking about. Maybe Metroid Prime 4. I don't know. I got nothing. I don't know.
Yeah, Nintendo's kind of got not such a good track record for this year. They were like, hey, here's Tears of the Kingdom. We just did the one. See ya. Like, oh god, I almost made like a reference to this one comedian. It was like, you gotta write another book? Nope. Did you see the first one? I fucking nailed it. There's no need to make a second one. Oh
And
my
sometimes
god.
that's true, you know. I was gonna say, Metroid Prime Remaster was also this year, so I was
Oh
also
yeah.
high note. Yeah.
What I mean is like the one like new game released by Nintendo. I guess we got Pikmin coming out,
Yeah, we
but
got Pikmin coming out.
like Pikmin's not like a big system seller.
They
You know what I
they
mean?
have been pretty high on not like a lot of their year this year has been remakes and remasters. That is a good point.
Yeah.
So you had Advance Wars 1+2. You had that Kirby Return to Dreamland Deluxe. You know, Metroid Prime Remastered. You know, even some of their other focus things. You know, GoldenEye was a big kind of focus for them earlier in the year.
Mm-hmm.
The only other I think the only other kind of major titles that they published this year, Fire Emblem Engage, which we've spoken so lovingly about over the last 6 months, and Bayonetta, that Cerveza spin-off game, and that is supposed to be good from what I've read, but have not played, cannot comment. So, but it's also a different kind of game than the core gameplay. I think that one's kind of on my I would like to play
I see.
at some point. But yeah, no, nothing too wild there. And right, Pikmin is going to be exciting, but we don't
I
know.
wish I
You
could
wish what?
find the comment I saw about Redfall, and yeah, okay. This is what I was trying to find. Yeah. Okay, so I saw this like a few days back, right? Essentially, Redfall devs was like 100% convinced, or at least hoping, that Microsoft would just cancel the game. And that's why it's so bad, because they made no effort on it. They really wanted to get it canceled. They
I did
hated
hear about
everything
that.
to do with it. Because up until 2021, the entire game was being made as a live service, similar to stuff like Fortnite or
Uh-huh.
like Apex Legends. The whole game had a live service element to it. Like it was even being possibly made as free to play initially. And then what we got is what they were able to cobble together in like a year and a half after
Uh-huh.
having to scrap that entire idea.
Sounds
And
lovely.
basically Arcane was like, please cancel this, please cancel this, please cancel this, please cancel this the whole time they were making the game.
My guess is they had to have just had so much invested into it that they were just kind of like Microsoft was just like, just finish it. We don't give a shit.
They didn't finish it though.
What else?
I don't know. I got like nothing really. I mean, we're gonna have a lot to talk about next week after the like 4 or 5 conferences that take place on both the 9th and the 11th. So
Yeah.
we'll have a lot to talk about then. But like this is a pretty like nothing week for news because so many games came out. Honestly.
No, well, you have that, and like we talked about, it's also the right before all these showcases, so
Mm-hmm.
nothing comes out. Everything's kind of close to the chest,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't want anything leaking. They want to be able to have things to talk about. So there's just not really anything noteworthy yet,
Yeah.
which is okay. Every week can't be exciting.
Yeah, so we got. I guess I'll just run through the showcases we have coming up, right?
Yeah, that's a
So
good
let's
idea.
go to Summer Games Fest because there's a lot that I can read off just from here. So, several of the ones we have. Summer Games Fest on the 8th is like the starting where they're gonna kick off and start. We'll see Day of the Devs, which is then mostly like indie titles and stuff from IM 8-bit and Double Fine. Um, on the 10th, we see Future Game Show, which I think is actually the. Oh wait, nope, that's different. Okay. 50 multi-platform games, multi-format platform games. June 11th is Xbox Showcase, which then will be followed immediately by Bethesda's Starfield Showcase. Also, June 11th is PC Gaming Show. June 12th is Capcom Showcase. We got a lot this week. So, that's happening very, very soon.
Yeah. So we'll have a lot to talk about next week.
And I will say this, there is another Direct on June 10th, which I thought was like really chill last year when I watched it. It's just called the Wholesome Direct. It's like games that are just like super chill, like vibe kind of games that they announce and show off. Last year they showed off Melatonin on this one.
Oh yeah.
So like if you like games like that are like just kind of chill and relax games, that one's super fun to watch. They're very like the way they talk and present everything is very like low energy, very like quiet and nice, like an ASMR sort of deal. It's a very interesting idea. It's not always the most exciting or like doesn't show like the most interesting games, but some of those games that are there are actually really, really interesting to see. Like just in general, they're like different. They're very different from anything else. So if you just want to like a moment to like fucking chill, you've got that on June 10th.
Funny, it was I don't know if you remember Chris. He was on the podcast a couple times with us back in the day.
Yeah.
But he texted me yesterday and was like, "Hold on, I gotta pull it up."
Okay.
Because it made me laugh. Because you said Melatonin, so it reminded me of this. He's like, "Have you played Hi-Fi Rush?"
Hi-Fi Rush is great.
He's like, "Seems like a game you would also enjoy." And I was like, "Oh yeah, Brandon's been trying to get me to play it." So I downloaded for the Series X. Haven't had time to play it yet. And he was like, "Oh, my boss, forced me to play it, and he was right that I'd like it." And it's like another game is Melatonin. It's like a cozy rhythm heaven. I was like, Brandon was just telling me to play that one too.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know games that are worth playing.
Go figure.
Yeah, who would have guessed?
Who'd have thunk it?
All right.
Anything else to talk about?
No, man, I got nothing. I honestly just want to lay down and play Street Fighter.
Yeah. Well, let's wrap this up. Thank you, everyone, for listening to us tonight. Don't forget to buy us on iTunes, Stitcher, Google, Amazon, wherever you get your podcasts. And we also have our website, game-crunch.com, which has all of our episodes on it. If you want to reach out to us, we're on Facebook, Twitter, or you can send us an email at gamecrunchcast@gmail.com.
Yep.
Brandon.
Hi.
Any final thoughts?
No. I don't really have anything, but I don't know why I've never pitched this on here. Okay. So if anyone's interested, I've been selling on eBay for quite a while, and I have a shit ton of gaming-related stuff that I put up there very regularly at KUROH_62. That's KUROH_62. That is our eBay. I've got right now a bunch of Wii U, Funko Pops, collectibles, DVDs, little figurines, and just general things. If you want to try and repair a Wii U that I couldn't repair, I've got that on there that I'm selling for parts. So if
it didn't end up working?
Broken, did not at all, sadly. I tried really hard, but it just wasn't. I essentially got it open and then realized the soldering and stuff I would need to do is beyond my comprehension. And I didn't want to damage it more than it already was. I don't know what's wrong with it, but I did sell the gamepad. The gamepad I ended up selling for like $91. So that I at least made some of my money back off of that purchase. And then I made a lot more from the accessories and stuff. So yeah. I had one guy buy all of my Wiimotes, just all of them at once.
Wow. Very good for them.
Yeah. They probably have like a store or something. And I was just like, all right, yeah, sure. Take them all for like $45. Here you go.
Hey, that's not bad at all.
Mm-hmm.
And it's nice too because they don't have to mess around shipping all to different places.
Yeah, but like I said, I have a ton of stuff on there. It goes up and down very, very often. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, just if there's anything you're interested in, you can reach out to us at the places that Mike just mentioned. Also, if you want to get directly in contact with me and ask about stuff. I hope this isn't too much to like throw on at the end, is it?
No.
Okay. So. All right, cool. I've got some Xbox games I'm going to be putting up very soon. I just got to get them cleaned and all tested and everything. But yeah, so keep an eye on all of that stuff.
Yeah. Well, that's it. My name's Mike Anastasia. You can find me online. I'm Clash Penguin there or on your favorite gaming console. And until next week, game on.
Game on.
Oh, Yuji Naka was sent to prison. Didn't see that.
I did not know he was he was sent to prison. What the fuck?
Well, remember you had the insider trading thing we were talking about.
Yeah, but most people that are rich get off. So
Yeah. Barely not rich enough.
apparently not.
By the way, next episode is like our 10-year anniversary episode.
Jesus Christ.
Our first episode was June 16th, 2013. And next week's episode will post on June 16th, 2023.
Well then, I guess that's when we'll have to do like a big episode somehow. We'll
Yeah.
figure it out.
I want to think of something. Maybe we should see if Nick will join us next week.
That'd be good.